Hey guys, Moshe is here again. I want to share with you another awesome video by Marques Brownlee of his tour/interview with Elon Musk in the Tesla factory production line. Very interesting video. Watch it. I think you will enjoy it. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to give you my take of Elon Musk involvement in Tesla and all that. I'm going to give you a very interesting take, a different take than what you would assume. So enjoy the video and come back at the end and I'll give you my take of this video.
Hey, what is up guys? MKBHD here and welcome to the sequel to the previous video, so the part 2, which is the mini factory tour with Elon. I want to preface it just with the intro by saying, first of all, it is really difficult to shoot good video in that factory. As you'll both see and hear, it's extremely loud and extremely busy. So this is more of just like a walking around and having fun and checking things out. It's actually probably just like 15 or 20% of the actual Model S and X factory process. It's not the whole thing. It's mostly just Elon showing us around. And in fact, I didn't even really say much during this interview. It was more just like I was kind of like a kid in the Matrix, just kind of absorbing everything. And then it also kind of cuts abruptly at the end when Elon basically gets pulled into his next meeting. But I still thought it was a ton of fun and worth sharing. And also, I should mention, this entire video shoot, this production would not be possible without my buddy John from the TLD channel and his crew who helped with audio, who were the muscle with the Steadicam. He has an entire behind the scenes video of this process on his channel. I'll link that right below. So if you want to check that out after watching this in part 1, feel free. But until the next one, this is your mini tour of the Tesla factory with Elon. Enjoy.
One that loops back, and like I said, just gives us access to the central corridor.
Yeah.
So it's really just like lifting it up and over.
So the car that ends up here came all the way down this previous?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, exactly. So it's, these robots are really just to give us like through access.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to pick it up and transfer it to the other robot.
Yeah.
But I think like you know, like a design improvement we should do is like really just the one robot should just pass it to the other robot.
Just pick it up.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
there's a third one above us.
Yeah, it's like it puts it on a table. The table rotates. It's like if we did this over, we would just have that giant robot pass it to that giant robot.
Fair.
Yeah.
Handoff.
Yeah.
Right.
There's like thousands of like little things like that that help improve production. General Assembly kind of operates in kind of a U, so it goes, cars come in over there, go all the way down here, and then all the way that way.
Okay.
And you can see the car get progressively more complex as it goes down the General Assembly line.
What does it look like when it starts this side of the assembly line?
Oh, we can go there. Can we go there?
Let's do it.
Should we start there? Start at the beginning?
Yeah, might as well.
But here you can get a good sense for, there's like General Assembly is what I was talking about as being really well suited to people.
Okay.
Because you got a lot of weird things that you got to put together. Like, you know, like look at some of these, you know, assemblies that like it's pretty hard for a robot to like connect this on.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's, you know, and like depending upon how it comes out of the box, it could be like in a little different position. But it's pretty easy for somebody to like, oh, it's like I just need to move it like an inch, you know, bolt it in.
It's probably really hard to write software to kind of know to adapt in all these different ways.
Yeah, it's like if you try to have the robot do this, you got to have like a complicated vision system, and then like the vision system faults out. It's like it's not quite right.
That's the hard part. We have a robot in our studio that moves the camera around, and the hardest part is when it faults. Yeah. You need a person there to know what to do.
Exactly. So
hopefully that doesn't happen much.
Like for parts that are complicated and fiddly, like wiring harnesses are especially difficult. You can see how like the wiring harness kind of needs to snake through the car.
Yeah.
It's literally like winding like a snake through the car.
Yeah.
You got to like poke it through holes and do various things. That's super difficult for a robot. See like how they're like putting the part of the air conditioning system there.
Right.
So you use like a little bit of mechanical assistance with the winch and whatnot, but then it's pretty straightforward for the guys to just like get that in there, and then like if they see there's an issue with the part, then like they say, oh, this part's got a problem. We'll put it over here to get fixed. Like this is like assembly lines like moving slowly.
Yeah.
So like moves along, and then if you know, it gives people like time to get things done. Like you can like stand on this and
I think you mentioned like the speed of the car coming out the other side is like 1 mile an hour or something like that.
Yeah, it's super slow.
You want to speed this up, right?
Yeah, it's not even 1 mile an hour. It's even slower than that right now. But for SX, but for 3, it's like getting close to a mile an hour.
Okay. Okay.
But like walking speed is 3 miles an hour, so it's like only 1/3 walking speed at 1 mile an hour.
All right.
But you can see like when you look on the inside of the car, you can see like how many little complicated little pieces there are.
A lot.
You know, the things that are meant to for insulation, corrosion protection, airbags, road noise. Like it's all this stuff that gets put in here.
Yeah.
You can see like these are like the side airbags here.
Oh, okay.
Like most people, I think it's like pretty cool. Like most people never see like the inside of the car.
Yeah, there's a million things you never see driving the car every day. Sure.
This is like, sorry guys, sorry to interrupt.
That's all right, man. You make me look.
If you don't mind being on like you know the internet and stuff, is that cool? All right.
YouTube's cool.
I actually don't interrupt your work, but you know, it's like you see like how like there's like a lot of tricky pieces, and like if for a person like this is like doable,
Straightforward.
Yeah, you know, it takes a bit of training, get up to speed, but like once you like basically like a pro human can do this super well, and it's like hard for the robots to do that. But when we go to the body welding, I'll show you like what's a robot good at. And you'll see like there's tons of robots, like tons of people here, tons of robots there. But there's so much complexity and variation here. You gotta like thread those wires when it comes through.
Especially like, here with this door.
So like this is a car with like less stuff in it, and then it goes. It's we'll see the beginning of it.
Right.
And then it goes all the way around, gets more and more stuff added. And
does it end at the end? Well, general assembly ends probably somewhere down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but you can see, it's interesting to see the car get progressively more complex as we add more parts to it. You know, this place used to employ like about 5,000 people, and now we got 10,000 people just in this location.
Yeah.
So what we do is we have like tons of shuttles and like we encourage ride sharing.
Yeah.
We got the Bay Area Rapid Transit station finally like went up. So just like trying to get people here is not easy.
It's a big challenge.
Yeah.
What is this?
Oh, this is actually like this is one of my favorite dumb robots.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a fan right now.
It's pretty cool. So like there's a lot of fancy robots that like, but they have like lots of issues and they break down all the time. But these little guys are super great. But like they follow this magnetic stripe. See, basically it's like super easy to program. You don't even need to be a programmer, because you just like lay down the mag stripe.
And it'll follow it.
And it just follows the mag stripe, and then it's got proximity sensors in the front. So if it sees an obstacle or sees like something in the way, it just stops. And then as soon as something moves out of the way, it just keeps going. You know, just like there's this like little thing all day long, like a little train. Yeah, like you were talking about robots faulting out, and one of the, it's like that's like where like actually doing things manually can actually be more efficient, because if you have like a lot of complicated robots, particularly if you have a 24/7 operation like we have with Model 3, then if the robot faults out, you got to have 24/7 like advanced robot technicians.
Makes sense.
And then if the robot like accidentally crashes and like breaks a fixture, then it's like, man, okay, now we've got the line down.
Do you have to
red alert, and then I get pulled on my cell phone at 2 in the morning, and it's like
not a lot of fun.
Trying to fly a part in from Germany. It's like we literally had that 2 days ago.
Do you have to, when you get new robots, do you build the robots or do you order them in and program them?
There's like different classes. There's many different types of robots. So the giant robot that we saw lifting the car is like that is a catalog item, but then we have to program the motions,
right.
And the end effector is custom. Okay. So the end effector that picks up the car, drops it off, that's a custom made thing.
Okay.
So it's kind of like you kind of like buy this like powerful arm, but it's just like having an arm stuck in the ground, and then you're like, okay, what does the arm do?
You got to tell it everything to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you got to put sensors on it and put fixtures. But that's like kind of like that robot over there. That's also one of like the ones that picks up the car. Oh, by the way, these are like named after X-Men.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Just X-Men?
I feel like you might have too many. It's like Marvel and X-Men. It's like
you gotta start to run out of names.
Yeah. There's like actually turns out a lot of X-Men, by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can see like this is like quite a beast of a robot. You can just buy that robot. You know, in this case it's a Fanuc robot. And you can buy the robot, but then the end effector that's carrying the car is something that's custom, and then you got to do the programming and the wire in the sensors and that kind of thing. So.
To the level of precision of this massive robot, is it to like, as far as repeatable action, is it literally the same path every second?
Yeah.
Plus or minus an inch?
Oh no, it's
centimeter?
It's better than that. For a big robot, there's a little less precision than a smaller robot.
Yeah.
But say a medium-sized robot will be accurate to 0.2, 0.3 millimeters.
Oh, okay. What is the most popular paint color coming through here?
That's black.
Black?
Yeah. It actually varies by country.
Oh, interesting.
Like,
watch out, there's a dumb robot coming through.
oh yeah, no, this guy's like pretty cool. Like, watch. All right, this could go wrong.
I don't know, you trust him more than I do.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Good job. Good job, robot. Yeah, no, I see a lot of silver, and I see a lot of white Model X.
Yeah,
Just in
so,
New Jersey.
Black and white are the two most popular colors.
Okay.
The white and black are like black is slightly more popular than white in the U.S., but in like Europe, it's way more popular. Like white is a very rare color in Europe for a car.
Okay.
In the U.S., it's like it's about even with black. Black and white are the two most common colors.
Got it.
Yeah. And here you can see battery pack. This is like supposed to be like a mating station for the battery pack.
Oh, this is literally connecting the battery to the
Yeah.
car.
Here you can see it's like a combination of manual and automatic. So
It's like they're lining it up.
It's like, yeah, exactly. It's done primarily by the robot system, by the automated system, but then you've got a person just making sure that the fine tuning is there.
Gotcha. How do you feel about matte or satin colors
Actually,
on
going to
cars?
ask about that a lot. I actually like the aesthetics of matte. It's really tricky to repair matte. So, like with gloss, you can polish it out. With matte, if you get like a little ding, it's really hard to then rematch so it looks like an even matte.
Yeah.
You can't just like,
That's a fair point, yeah.
So it's doable. It's something actually we would like to do matte in the future. But like right now, for example, like the paint shop's really operating at full tilt, so adding any complexity to the paint shop would not be wise right now, but I think it'd be a cool thing to do in the future. So these are sub-assemblies, so you can see like the front and rear drive units being built up, and the sub-assemblies then feed the main assembly line.
These are long assembly lines.
Oh yeah. Well, it's integrating S and X.
Okay.
And it's making about 2,000 cars a week.
Is Model 3 entirely, completely separate? I guess inside the same building, but separate whole process.
The only place where Model 3 and S and X come together is in the paint shop. So the paint shop is processing S3 and X simultaneously down the same line.
Gotcha.
But otherwise, general assembly separate, body separate. Everything else is separate. So just the paint shop where they come together.
You've mentioned you've slept in the factory to be able to immediately like diagnose problems and hands-on fix what's not right. What type of things happen that you can immediately fix or immediately take action on?
Actually, last 3 months last year, I mostly spent at Gigafactory trying to help fix the battery production. It's a module production, and it's a lot of little things, like looking at each little tiny part, each process. Say, is the process necessary? Because the best part is no part, process is no process. And occasionally at the design level, you think something's necessary, but then it turns out it's not. So it's just like making sure, connecting between design and manufacturing, make sure we're close the loop on that. Just saying like, hey, is this, let's say it's a lot of real simple stuff, but it's like times 1,000.
Yeah.
So if we have like a automated bolt driver going in, like what's the RPM, the torque settings for the bolt driver? Can we make that go faster? Usually you can. Unnecessary movements. Like for example, I actually don't really like the fact that we lift the cars over and back.
Ideally, that would be a robot handoff,
Yeah, it'd be robot-
getting rid of a middle stage.
Yeah, exactly. Because the middle stage, what the robot's doing is like putting it on a turntable, and then the turntable's rotating, and the other robot's picking it up. It's actually, the problem is like sometimes the turntable breaks down.
Oh.
And so, okay, so it's like, okay, let's eliminate the turntable and just have robot go to robot. And then you don't have like turntable breakage to consider.
So it's a lot of minimizing things that can go wrong and maximizing the efficiency of the simple things that go right.
It's like, design necessity of every part of it and every process.
Yeah.
The speed at which, especially the robots are going. Is there any unnecessary movement in the production line that isn't value added? Like we're not actually doing something.
Yeah.
Like replacing elements of the production system that are
not needed or redundant.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that awesome video. And my take is, when you see this video, when you see this tour, you understand how involved Elon Musk is in every detail, in every screw, in every bolt. And I think this can explain why he's basically experiencing a nervous breakdown, cannot sleep, has to use sleeping aids to get some sleep. It looks like the guy didn't get a haircut for like a month, and it's not something that is healthy to be. It looks like a control freak who cannot delegate anything to anybody, who has to be called at all hours in the night to solve problems. Not that I'm comparing, not at all whatsoever. I run a $4 million private school, and I remember at the very beginning I used to be something like this. I used to get so sick, strep throats and all that, because I wanted to make sure that I'm involved in everything. And there's a people like this because they have passion. It's not a bad thing. They have passion. He's so passionate, and he wants everything to be so perfect that he has to be involved in everything. And it's inevitable that you're going to collapse. And the best thing is somebody to save him from himself and to delegate. I mean, beside this, he has SpaceX and what used to be Solar City that now it's under Tesla as well. It's too much for one person to be involved to this level of to sleep in the factory and to that. Now I understand he wants to do well, and Tesla Model 3 is producing cars by the thousands, tens of thousands, and it's an awesome accomplishment. And believe me, nobody is rooting more for Tesla and Elon Musk than me. It's not sustainable physically. Basically somebody has to tell him, if you do this, you will be dead. Okay, and then you're no good for anybody. If you continue to be involved in every single nut and bolt, because that's what it looks like he's doing. That's what it looks like he's doing, and his perfectionism and his control freak nature only gets in the way of the good. And I hope that he's going to realize that, and I hope that he's going to learn how to delegate to others, and so he can concentrate on the big things. You know, sometimes 80% good is better than 100%. 80% good and running is better than 100% not running. 100% that you're never going to get, and you're going to try to keep fixing it. Anyway, so that's my take. I'm worried. It doesn't look good. It looks pale, and it looks like the guy's never sleeping. So let me know what you think. All right, guys. See you tomorrow with another episode.